This is a little bit different of a video than I've done in the past, and as you can tell, I have a really weird, heinous hairdo. So I promise this is not how I look normally, but I was looking around my office and I really wanted to do a video that was a little bit different. Since I didn't do an archive video this week, I still wanted to put out something, but something fun and that I haven't experimented with yet. And that is my collection of vintage hair accessories and adornments. So the reason why I have bangs, and they look terrible, but I bought these years ago when I used to work in salon management, and they're just little clip-in bangs. They used to match my old hair color when I used to get my hair professionally done, so they don't match my current, and I also haven't colored my hair yet, so I've got 3 different shades of color on my head right now. But I put this on as an example of some of the modern pieces that are going to be very reminiscent of the pieces in my collection. Now, if you can tell, these little dots up here are actually pieces from the 1950s called, well, sometimes they were called Skatterettes. You would get them from Goody, and I'll insert some of the pictures here while I'm talking. And if you grew up in the 90s, these are going to look very, very familiar. They are on this little swirly ring, and you have a jewel or a faux pearl, and you twist them into your hairdo. Now, you still see some of them today. They're not super common. Now they look like little springs, and your hair gets caught in them. They're not very comfortable, but these are very light, very dainty, and I randomly just started collecting them. I saw a picture of one on Pinterest and it was actually for sale. So I bought it and I just started collecting a lot of these pieces. Now I'm going to show a little close up, a little bit of the ones in my hair. Excuse my roots. Again, I haven't colored my hair yet. I haven't had a chance to. But these I just twisted in to my updo and they actually stay pretty firm. I have my hair just pulled back in claw clips. Not very fun, but these are really, really cool ways to just liven up your hairdos if you're going out. I've used these in photo shoots before, and you can kind of see a little bit up here, not very, I just haphazardly put them up there, but these are so gorgeous. I'm noticing that these bangs are kind of going into a little bit of a widow's peak there. Oh, they're so bad. I'll show pictures of how these looked when I actually had them styled and matching my hair. Again, I put these on for effect, but I'm immediately regretting it because they're annoying as hell. But I wanted to point out these little French twist clips here. I haven't experimented with these. I normally don't put my hair up. As you can tell, it's very, very thick. It will take probably 4 or 5 of these packs to get them in there. But what I like to do when I'm not experimenting with how I can actually make these work is sometimes I just like popping them in my hairdo. Again, I just have these little clips so it doesn't work out quite the way I want it to, but I'll try to clip these in. Yeah, that's not gonna work, but they're 4 French twists, as you can see on the packaging. So these I'm gonna experiment with more, but I was gonna try to do a hairdo where, kind of like those hair combs from the 1940s, you could just plop them in here and just see them sticking out a little bit. That's not going to work, but I wanted to give a little bit of a view of some of these pieces and also some of the actual hair switches that have a very complicated history, but they're a part of history nonetheless. Okay, so I redid my hair a little bit. I took those heinous bangs out, and I'm gonna show you just how I put these in. And so we're gonna take one of these, if I can show it on there, and just take it, and I'm twisting it counterclockwise. And let's see, you can kind of see right there it poking through. I was trying to figure out the easiest way to do this, but you work with what you got. I'll try putting one closer up to my forehead so you can see it a little bit better. Turning it counterclockwise again, and you can see it right there. Now I'm gonna grab another one and see if I can twist another little one in there. So now I'm gonna take this little almost pinky amber aurora borealis looking rhinestone one, and I'm just going to counterclockwise twist it in there. Now, again, my hair is just up in a claw clip. There's nothing fancy about it. So the better and more stable your updo is, these are gonna work really well. I would just wish I had these when I went to prom. Now, I think it was my junior prom. I had this idea of, I wanted my hair to look like Christine Daae and wanted it really curly, big, bouffant up here, but I also wanted pearls in my hair. So my hairstylist glued little pearls into my hair. I loved it, but this would have been so much easier. Again, things like these do and did exist back then, but they were more like the springy spiral, and they would get caught in your hair, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So you can kind of see that right there. And let's see, can I zoom in a little bit so you can see how I have those right there? And my hair is so thick that one is getting kind of lost in the beast that is my hair. So if you can just imagine these scattered throughout, would look really, really beautiful. So let's take a little bit of a look at all of these and just relish in how beautiful they all are. Now, this is only just a little sampling of my collection, but you'll get the gist of a lot of it. Now, these ones are called the Sparkle Accents, and these were the ones that I just had in my hair. So these had little aurora borealis rhinestones as well as faux pearls from the Tip Top Products Company in Omaha, Nebraska. And sometimes you'll see them called highlights, sparkle accents, sparkle Skatterettes. That's what I'm trying to say, Skatterettes. So these ones are just regular rhinestone ones. And as you can see, a lot of these were never even used. These ones are still in the original packaging, and you have pink and also just the regular rhinestone ones as well. Now, earlier I said the name Sam Goody for these pieces, and I believe that actually was where you got CDs. Oh, I haven't had enough caffeine today. I meant Goody. But these were the ones I saw on Pinterest and decided to buy, and these are the Skatterettes. Now, I'm not sure what this particular brand is, if Starlights is the brand, but I absolutely love these ones. They are little flowers with rhinestone, aurora borealis rhinestones in the middle. As you can see, they were never used, but I really, really love the artwork on these. To highlight your hair. Twist in, twist out. Now, twisting these out, I twist mine in counterclockwise, twist them out clockwise. They will probably get tangled in your hair. Mine sure did. A little frustrating, but as we move down, we have these beautiful blue ones. And it shows right here how you're meant to twist these in. to decorate the hair, adorn any hairstyle. I'll perfect it at some point in time. And here is another little close-up of those Goody hairpins. Do a little French twist, bun. I think this was kind of similar to what I was trying to do. I've never mastered these yet. Again, I have a lot of hair, so it might take a good amount to do these. But how fun are all of these? And they can take any hairdo up a notch infinitely. They're just so cool. Now this is another version of those Goody hairpins that I have. They have kind of this melted pearl effect at the top. Again, these are ones that I'm determined to learn how to use, but in the meantime, they're just so gorgeous. And the fact that I can find these on the original cards. Now you can find these on eBay, Etsy, but a lot of times they're not on the original cards, and I love them just for the artwork alone. Now these are something a little bit different, and these are from the 70s, and it's all fake plastic synthetic hair, but they're in these braids, and you could do some really cool ornate hairstyles. You could twist it into your chignon, clip them into the side of your hair, or use them almost as a little headband. And I have this silvery gray color here. You have blonde, and then you have a little bit thicker of a braid in natural brunette. And you can see here the original price tags. How cool are those? Or I guess this one is silver. I'm not sure. Now that I'm looking at them again, gold, silver, so I don't necessarily think they're supposed to be natural hair color necessarily. Maybe it's supposed to be blatantly metallic, but either way, really beautiful. Obviously, I can't wear any of these. They are not my hair color, but I thought they were fun, and I'm hoping at some point I can use these in some kind of photo shoot because they're just too good. Now, this is one in my collection that has had a complicated and very cringy history. Not this specific one, but ones that people used like this in the past. Now, this is a 1964 R&M Coiffure Fashions hair switch. Now, they called this one the living switch, meaning that it is not actual human hair. It is synthetic hair that was designed by, let's see, R&M living switch chignon styles shown here were created for the fashion conscious woman by Drake Zachary, nationally known hairstylist. Now, this is labeled as a new scientific discovery that is actually far better than human hair, with more density, more body, more luster, and easier to manage. So while this one is not real hair, throughout history, these hair switches were usually made from real hair. Now, the reason why this has a cringy history, if you didn't have a lot of this hair yourself, didn't cut all of it off, didn't have enough of it, other women would cut and sell their hair. It was more prominent to be getting these hair switches from overseas in Asia and India, and there were some businesses that sold these from women that were forced to cut their hair, whether they were enslaved, living in very bad abusive conditions. But thankfully, this one, not real human hair, but women would often use these for their big elaborate hairdos, whether it be in the Victorian era or the 1960s. And in this little booklet, it shows some of the different ways you can use it. Now, I absolutely love this color. Comes with its own little hairnet and pins, but you get a lot of hair. I mean, look how long that is. It's just bursting out of the box. But but you can style it any way you want. You can brush it, swirl it. Not going to try this one on for you because it will look absolutely ridiculous since it is not my hair color whatsoever. But I thought this was really, really cool when I saw it, and I became really interested in the history of it. And obviously today you get hair extensions. A lot of them are real. Some of them are not. This was one of the cool precursors. And again, it would help create these big elaborate hairstyles that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do with your own hair. What I really love about these pieces is no matter what decade you're in, what part of history, you always can find where a lot of these pieces and the idea of these pieces came from. Now, even during medieval times, women would use substitutes, and even men would use substitutes for their own hair, whether it be wigs, extensions. And I just think it's really interesting to look back, and everything old is new again. Think that you're coming up with a novel idea. Well, it's probably already been done before. But I just think this is a really great relic of history, but also a reminder that some of these pieces have histories that we really need to learn something from. Again, thank you so much for watching just this little show and tell of some of my vintage hair accessories. If you've been watching this video and have been wanting to push this hair out of my eyes, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna get this off my head as soon as humanly possible. But thank you for joining me on this one. Now, one of the videos I've been wanting to do, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it yet, is this one, and I'll show you. Now, for the better part of a year, I have been using one of these babies, and this is a 1930s hair collector, and I got it with a vanity set. It came off of an estate, and I really just wanted one. I liked the little matching pieces that went with it, but they would use these to collect their hair, and I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment with this. Now, I'll go into more detail about what these were and what they were used for in a future video. Again, I haven't figured out how quite to do that video yet, but it's an interesting history, and I've been wanting to do something with this. I've just been collecting my hair for a little while now and wanted to do a little bit of a fun video on it. Some of you might think it's really gross, but this is what they did back then. So this will be a future video once I decide what I'm gonna do. Because I'm actually not using this for the way it was intended. So if you want to see a video like that, let me know. I'll get it done eventually, maybe one of the days I have off coming up. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you collect any of these pieces, or if you have any vintage hair accessories, wigs, anything like that that you love and you try to incorporate in your everyday life. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.